Hi guys, day 6, and it's not actually day 6, it's more like day 8. I've been hiding for the last couple of days, so I thought it was about time I stopped hiding and showed up to do another video diary. The reason I've been hiding is because last week starting to share my video diary was really huge and really quite exposing in a lot of ways, and I think I felt a bit embarrassed on one level and very vulnerable. Certainly on Thursday of last week there were lots of tears because it felt incredibly scary to share myself with people and to share aspects of myself with people that I would never normally talk about. So I needed a couple of days just to process what I was doing and to remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's really important for me to make it quite clear that doing a YouTube video diary was never on my list of things to do in my life. I guess always just thought that I was never meant to be on camera in any sense. I don't particularly like photos being taken of me, so videos is like a whole different ball game, and one that I never really wanted to participate in. But the YouTube videos really were originally intended to be private. They were going to be shared just amongst my mastermind group that I'm a part of, and it was a way of me starting to be a bit more visible in my business, and also just a way of kind of learning to accept myself. And then I realised when I was doing the videos that I had a really compelling reason for wanting to share them with other people, because a lot of what I talked about were things that I've had plenty of conversations with people where they experience similar stuff. And in the spirit of wanting to help others, which is kind of what I think I'm here for, I felt it was really important to share aspects of myself with others as a way of reassuring people that they're not on their own. But the YouTube thing, massively out of my comfort zone, and I think part of the reason why I opted to put it onto YouTube was because it was so far outside of anything that I could ever imagine in my mind that I couldn't overthink it. I couldn't worry about what was going to happen. I couldn't think about what the outcome of that was going to be. I kind of just had to throw myself in and trust that I was doing the right thing for the right reasons and that it would work out. But as a result of doing this and all of the stuff that's come up for me in the last couple of days that's made me want to kind of hide myself again, I've had to kind of revisit why I'm doing this. And I guess the first reason that I'm doing this is for myself. It's so that I can start to accept all aspects of my personality, all aspects of my life, and start to appreciate those things and start to love those things. I watched a really interesting video by Jay Shetty when he talks about meditation and how meditation confronts you with all of your stuff, and it really does. It gives you access to all aspects of your personality, and when you start that journey, that can be really uncomfortable. And in any kind of process of looking at yourself and becoming more inquisitive and more curious about yourself and why you do the things you do and why you think the things you think, it can confront you with things that are uncomfortable. But it's kind of it's like climbing a mountain. Once you get to the top, once you get to a point where you've accepted who you are, or where you know why you do things and you can sort of put things to rest, the view that you see and the rewards of the challenging journey that you have to take are so amazing that it makes it worthwhile. So as uncomfortable as this is for me, and as challenging as it is for me to share myself with people, I know, or I'm trusting, that there will be longer term positives that come out of it, and already I'm a lot more accepting of myself than I was probably a few weeks ago. The second reason that I'm doing this is because I want to encourage other people to not be afraid of who they are, and to not be afraid of looking at themselves in a more inquisitive way. Just because we've always done something a particular way doesn't mean it's the right way, the best way, the only way. Oftentimes it's not even the most efficient way. So I think it's a real strength and a real mark of courage and bravery to be able to look at yourself and not judge who you are, not judge what you do or why you do it, but just be curious about it and learn that about yourself. And then that makes navigating the world a lot easier, because you know that you've got certain ways of doing things and certain things that you like and dislike. And when you know yourself better, you can show up in a different way, you can be more authentic, you can create life more on your terms, you can know what you want from the future, and instead of just winging it and hoping for the best, which I guess to a certain extent we all do, you can kind of make a bit more of an informed decision about what you want your life to look like. And that's something I found from the journey that I've been on in the last 10 years of kind of learning and growing and developing, and the challenges that I've had, and how those things have helped me to see myself in a different way and appreciate different things. Like, I just think there's so much value in that. And if what I'm doing kind of inspires people to be a bit more brave, or a bit more have a bit more courage in doing things that otherwise they might have shied away from, then I've achieved something and I've made it kind of worthwhile. And I guess the third thing is that because I've been doing this stuff for the last 10 years, and that feels like a really long time when I say that, it doesn't feel like a long time when I think about it, because the journey feels a bit like a whirlwind sometimes, and sometimes you have massive growth and then other times things just plod along. I've had much more profound points in my life, like the loss of my dad was a really profound growth period for me, because I suddenly realised why I'd been learning the things I'd been learning about myself, why I'd started to get into meditation, why I'd started to look more at the relationship I have with myself and taking better care of myself, taking responsibility for my choices and my decisions, stepping outside of that place of feeling like everybody else has a say over my life, and realising that I'm the only one that has a say over my life. But in that time I've learned so many things, and I've got so many tools that I never used to have. And I think half the time we find life challenging because we just don't have the coping mechanisms in place to help us. We don't have the knowledge to be able to take control of a situation. There are so many things that we can do to help our situation, but if no one ever shows us, and it's not something that's taught at school, one of my big bugbears is like, school doesn't teach you how to just deal with life. School teaches you about maths and science and history, and they're all great, but how do we know how to manage our lives, how to manage our state, how to feel happy when we're in tears, how to change our experience of life? How do we know if no one ever shows us how to do that? And I guess my mission for the last 10 years is about taking control and taking responsibility for my experience of life, and recognising that I have the power to change things if I don't like them. And so I want to share those tools with people. I want to share the things that I do, not because I think my way is the only way or my way is a better way, but because if I can open up people's minds to the possibility that there is a different way, then maybe some of what I say, some of what I share might be useful. Maybe a tool that I share might be something that you implement and you have a really huge shift, or maybe you'll go and investigate other ways that you can do that, ways that work for you, ways that work for the way that your mind works and your body works and your emotions work. So I'm not saying I've got all the answers, but I do have a whole load of knowledge, and I guess I've been playing that down for a long time and pretending that I don't know as much as I do. And only when I have conversations with people and they tell me that I know a lot and that I should share it, am I reminded of how many things I've learned. I guess in some ways it's a bit second nature for me now, and I mean that in a completely non-arrogant way. Like, I've just been so committed to making my life as good as possible that it's become an instinctive thing. I can call myself out on my shit because, quite frankly, there are times when I need to do that. There are times when I need to give myself a bit of a talking to and say, no one else is to blame for this situation. This is your life. You can change it. And so I guess that's one of the other reasons why I'm doing this. So that's the end of today. I'm not going to waffle on anymore, but I needed to just revisit why I was doing this so that I can stop hiding and start being visible again and start sharing again. I really do hope that you're enjoying these videos. I hope that they're useful. I hope that there's some insight in there that helps you, and I always think you get what you need when you need it. It's all about divine timing. So if you are watching this, I really hope that these videos are helping you, and please do subscribe to my channel if you want to keep up with the videos that I'm doing, and I will see you again tomorrow. I am committed to showing up again tomorrow.